All right, what's good, everyone? We're here for another ROKCAST. I'm joined here by my partner, John Ortiz, and we're glad to be putting on another show for you guys. We've been having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, so today we're going to be interviewing the man that gave us our first shot at least, with over at Lincoln's Beard. We've got John Falco, one of the owners of Fire Pit Hospitality. Welcome, John.
Howdy, howdy. What's going on,
What's
gentlemen?
up,
It's
brother?
Good to be here.
It's good to see you,
Good
man.
to
It's
be
great
here.
to have you here
Glad
in
to
our
be here.
green.
Glad to be joined.
It's amazing having you sitting here with us because, like, I remember, was it 6 years ago now that we sat down with you and asked
Wow.
for permission, you
Dude,
know,
no
like,
shot.
hey, what's your slowest day over at the Beard? How can we help? What we want to do this crazy idea, bring in a bunch of computers and do video games in your brewery, dude. And you gave us a shot.
Dude, I was happy to do it. I mean, you guys did literally all the work. But no, I mean, you guys, and once you did, you really did do it. I mean, that's one thing we've talked about this before as to what set you guys apart. You know, we had a lot of great men and women come in and set up video game days and video game nights, and they're always really fun. But you guys came with a level of professionalism and commitment, frankly, that it just wasn't even close. You know, there's doing something, and then there's committing to something at a professional, at an intense level. And I mean, it's reflected here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, we were just talking about this before we got on the mic here about how many of these e-game centers are around in the country, probably the world, to be honest. But in the country at this level, it's, you know, you can count them on one hand probably. So thank you guys for bringing that to our city, of course, which is amazing, especially down here in Southwest Miami-Dade, which is awesome and growing, where I've always committed my time and effort. So, and moolah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys really performed at an incredible level.
Thank you,
know,
man.
and I mean, I still have visions of you guys running LAN cables all around the brewery. You know, it's like
Literally.
but carrying
forgot about
1,000 monitors up, 1,000 monitors down.
Bro.
It's
Having your
yeah.
staff try to kick us out because we're taking too long.
Oh,
You're like,
dude, in those long tournaments, it's like that's what
Yes,
makes
man.
the tournament good. I know.
We would
but-
start at like noon, and it would be like midnight. It was like,
know,
right.
dude, some of those
like, yo,
huge,
these guys
huge
need to get out of
tourneys,
here.
Smash Brother tourneys, and oh no, you guys would run a bunch of different things.
yeah, it'd be like
PK going,
3 or
everything.
4 tournaments at the same time.
It's
And
wild.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know the lore, like, we were doing 3 different tournaments on the same day every 2 weeks on Sundays.
Wild.
And what made it interesting and challenging was that just before we were set to start, you guys had a church.
Yeah.
That would go from 11 to 12. And so, like, 12 o'clock would hit, and Cody, myself, and everyone that was volunteering with us, we'd, like, immediately swarm the floor and start moving everything around and changing things, because we told everyone the tournament was starting at 1 o'clock, and we wouldn't even start till, like, 2:30 sometimes because it took so long.
Wow. Yeah, you guys would absolutely grind. We tried to do it with you guys setting up during the church service, right? But then
Yeah.
they were like, dude, it's just too loud.
We had to
Yeah.
get in earlier to set
we were
everything that
able
we
Yeah.
to
needed
do like
Oh, that's
everything
right, that's right.
upstairs and like
Yeah.
on the right, but Smash, which was always the biggest event during the time,
Mm-hmm.
unless we were doing Fortnite, that'd be pretty big. But Smash scaled the easiest. That was just all in the main area, and we
Yeah.
put all the barrels on the right and stuff like that. And man, I miss those times because it really felt like so electrifying. Like, it's not only that we're doing a tournament, but we're bringing different communities together all in the same place, and not even just any place. And it's such a social place, like a brewery, where most gamers are just home gaming, chilling, maybe with a homie or two. Now they're at like this brewery with all this dope ass art, and it's always such a vibe in there. And I think you guys have really like outdone yourself, just giving that ambience in Lincoln's Beard and making it a place where people can go and vibe out. You could kind of look at someone and kind of know what game they were playing to a certain
Yeah.
degree, because the community really had like similar lingo, or they dressed similar, or they had similar values. But then we were bringing like someone that plays Madden and someone that plays Smash, and then we have Fortnite, which are like the younger ones, and then they're all in the same place, all having similar passions with gaming, all competing. And You know, you have the guy playing Madden who's a heavy beer drinker,
Yeah.
and then you have the kid who can't really touch any of that, but his dad's sitting at the at the bar drinking
Yeah,
beers.
they
and
were
it's just
they
like,
were loving it because they were like, man, every time I go to these places, I gotta just sip on like a Coke or something.
Yeah,
I don't even get to like hang
yeah.
out. Then this is a full ass bar. I get to let them go play. Like I'm
who
good.
cares, right? Yeah, we have a lot of kids' birthday parties there, to be honest. It's really a brilliant move. But you know, and one thing you didn't mention, this whole time the bar is open, so random people are coming and going, what the hell's going on? You're just sitting here watching kids destroy each other in Fortnite. This guy's playing 2K. So it was really, really a fun environment. I mean, which really makes sense. You talk about the aesthetic and the ambiance of Lincoln's, which is just chaos. Frankly, chaos is the aesthetic. You know, I was way back in the day, I was talking to Peter San Maria, who's Attack Peter on Instagram. He's a creative director for Mondo, right, which may have made some of these figurines.
nice.
And he's a good friend of mine, and he's talking about the importance of palettes, color palette, and a business and whatnot, and having a aesthetic and a theme. And I was like, well, we might be guilty of not having one at Lincoln's. He's like, he said, you do have one. It's chaos is your theme. Somehow you've gotten chaos in a bottle, and that is your theme. So, we embrace that, at any point in time. I've had some people come up to me and say, there's a lot of, XYZ at Lincoln's. Are you guys, is that the kind of bar you're at? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Do we have a lot of, we have a lot of mannequin arms? We do, yeah. We have mannequin arms there because one of our regulars just brought in a bucket of mannequin arms, and that continues with video game event, had to rush and set it up after a church service. It's like we have a 12-foot skeleton like in a church service. It's the most wild thing. The church service has since moved to one of our other locations that's a little more church friendly. But
Nice.
But yeah, no, I mean, in those days when you're talking about like missing those days, and of course, nostalgia is what do they say? The memory with the dirt rubbed off of it. But that's because that was the purest form of gaming. Back in the, you guys are just grinding and you're in this random building and everyone's just having a good time. Once the business aspect comes into it, it's not as fun, but it's a little cleaner, I guess.
Yeah, that's something that always impressed me about the businesses that you have built is that like they really do attract all walks of life and like so many different types of people.
Oh yeah.
Like you have the guy that's working the 9 to 5 and coming out suited, and then you have the guy fully tattooed everywhere, and then you have the kids coming in and the parents, and it's like you really have built something in multiple different places where just like it really feels like it doesn't matter who you are, what you're into, how weird you get. That it just attracts all those types of people.
Oh yeah. No, I've definitely had I know for a fact I've had everything from homeless men to congressmen in Lincoln. So it really is come as you are kind of place for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned the mannequin arms, right?
Yeah.
And we've gotten some strange donations here at Rock. Like they're like, hey, I don't want this anymore. Here, you can have it. What's the strangest donation you guys got? Was it the mannequin arms?
Man, I mean, a bucket of mannequin arms is pretty up there. I don't know if I'd call it a donation, but we had a kitten walk up, who is now our brewery cat TK. So that was a donation from God, I guess. But wow, that's true. We have had a navigational buoy. Like the kind that are incredibly large. I couldn't even lift it. It was hundreds of pounds. Some guy brought it in the back of his truck. They're like the orange white that kind of flew out there. I don't know anything about the water, to be honest with you. But I guess to avoid hitting something, and they brought, hey, you want this? And he dropped it off and left. And we're like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this thing?
Just sitting in front of the parking lot.
Exactly. Navigational buoy would probably be the most. And same guy, this is all a regular Guillermo. He brought a commercial fishing net. That was great. So, which is incredibly large, by the way. So we
can only imagine.
Yeah. So we just kind of threw that somewhere. I don't know. Who knows?
Those are pretty solid.
It's crazy.
It's make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Why wouldn't you want a navigational buoy?
You were talking about themes, right, in your restaurants. Now you have Strange Beast, you have Maxwell Bros, and you have Thorn.
Yeah.
And each one has kind of like a different vibe to it. And I feel like it's getting a little more deliberate. Is that kind of
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say getting a little more deliberate because that would imply that we're going to open multiple more, and I don't need that evil on me. But no, it I think it did. Lincoln's started, believe it or not, Lincoln started kind of pale gray walls and a whole bunch of compromise. As far as design aesthetic, we kind of wanted. At that point we had 6 partners. And we just kind of wanted everyone to be happy, so we kind of kept, and then it just slowly, and this was my fault, good or bad, slowly morphed into this chaotic, weird environment, and it kind of took off. Once we opened Strange Beast, the intent there was much more focused, yeah. Right? Which would be my recommendation now to anyone opening a business is, whatever it feels like, and I always call it the album concept, right? If you're a musician, every business you open is your album, or any creative piece you do, whatever it may be, is that album, right? In the world of business, right? In the world of create a business, sell a business, which is probably the most profitable thing to do in entrepreneurship, that kind of mentality is not necessarily a beneficial one. You kind of want all your business to be the same and repeatable. That's much more palatable to a buyer, and scalable. But it's a lot more fun and pure to not do that, frankly, and just to have everything be a reflection of who you are as a person. So at Strange, obviously, we went with the kaiju theme, very dark, intentionally dingy. My kind of guiding principle back then was I wanted to always look like it's unfinished. Or, it's kind of a Godzilla, King Kong theme. Mm-hmm. It's got to look a little destroyed, so everything's a red and a little rough. Maxwell's total opposite. Maxwell's super clean, 50s theme, happy with, a little tinge of the whole nuclear aspect of the 50s and 60s.
A lot of nostalgia, right? You have the Futurama,
yeah.
You got the General Grievous on the walls.
Exactly, Grievous, man. Excellent. But, honestly, after I designed Maxwell's, I immediately hated it. I love Maxwell's. The pizza's great, the clientele's great, the staff's great. Everything's great about Maxwell's, but from an aesthetic standpoint, I only kind of did that because I'm like, this is something I've never done. Let's try it. And right when I did, I'm like, oh, it's too bright. It's too crazy. I got to get out of here. And that's when Crybaby came around, our ice cream shop right next door. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go total opposite. I'm going to take an ice cream shop and I'm going to brand it like a bar. And so the primary color for Crybaby is black. Yeah. So, which is wild because ice cream shops are supposed to be pink and purple and happy. Mm-hmm. But, so yeah, black with a little tinge of blue and red neon, but no. That's it.
We know Crybaby very well.
Oh.
We've DoorDashed many an ice cream sandwich.
Boxcars for days, dude.
Boxcars for days.
We got to do a little collab here at Rock, man.
We got to have boxcars at our Rock.
My girl, she lives in Bird Road, really close to Thorn.
Shout out to Bird Road.
Yeah, really close to Thorn, maybe like 10 minutes, and she'll order from the Palmetto Bay location delivery over there. She's obsessed with it.
Oh, because you can't get everything from.
You can't get everything over there. Yeah.
Well, we're looking for another. We do want to grow the Crybaby brand, so we're kind of looking for other locations for Crybaby. So hopefully we'll get some a little closer.
How different is ice cream from pizzas?
Oh man, ice cream is. It's very different. Very different. Both are good margin. Both are good businesses. Both have very little loss as long as you can keep your freezer on, which is much more difficult than you can imagine. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest challenge between being in desserts in general versus being in savory foods or dinner foods is volume, right? So you guys walk in with your girl, or you walk in with let's say you walk in with 4 people. And you go to Maxwell Bros, which is a middle priced. It's not incredibly expensive, but you go in with 4 people nowadays, you're gonna drop $120, right? If you get a few rounds of drinks, maybe $150. Who knows? Crybaby, you're gonna spend maybe $30, right? So now that same group of people, I got to bring in multiple times to be able to get revenues to the point where we can cover our expenses.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge with desserts is that you just don't get as much revenue and you're paying the same square footage for rent, right? So you got to be very, very careful on where you choose to build.
Yeah, a lot of seasonal flavors, right? A lot of rotation. Yeah, so you can keep the interest in getting people in. I know I told you before, my girlfriend loved. I think it was the pumpkin pie and was devastated.
So good. It's coming soon though, probably. Fall. Yeah, we'll see what Stephanie and the team over there does. Chef Stephanie.
I would love to hear, I know creativity is a big thing with you and about you. It's probably one of the major things you look at in terms of business.
Of course.
Like, how do you time and time again, especially with 4 or 5 different locations, stay so creative and so on top of it? Like, what are those meetings looking like?
Oh man, dude! If we're talking about well, one, I always have way more ideas in my head that than I could execute, and that even makes sense. You guys do too, probably, you know. And if you don't, there's 2 things you need to do. One, you need to get a hobby, which, judging by the level of entrepreneurship you guys are in, you probably have no hobbies. Nope. Right? Okay, so we'll talk about that after or during if you want.
Yeah.
The second thing you need to do is consume creativity, right? If you know, we were talking about this, I was like, John, you game? And you're like, dude, I never game anymore, man. You don't have time. You're enabling gaming for so many other people. You don't have time to do yourself or interest. You're burnt out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be gaming, but the closer you can get to what you do and consume that. Yeah, I remember I heard a interview with Krung Band. I don't know if you guys know the band Krung Band. Super dope band. And their bassist is this girl Laura Lee. At least that's her stage name. And she's talking about how whenever she's in a creative block, she remembers there's only 2 states she allows her brain to be in, which is consuming creativity or creating. Right. So if you don't feel creative, then listen to music that makes you creative. Play a game. You know, go pull out a game you never played. Super Mario 1, dude. Break out the Nintendo and just play it. Get back to the base of what it's all about. For me, go to a cocktail bar. Or even for me, dude, put on some creative music or watch an incredible movie, and it will break you out of that. So that's certainly what I find to be the best method. The best method. Yeah, get into your creative space. Yeah.
Take inspiration from everything around you, right?
Of course, man. You know, of course, you know, nothing is original, right? Thankfully, everything is just built upon that which was here before, right? I mean, that's tradition. It's foundation. You know, I mean, that gaming is about as perfect example as that as you could choose. Right?
Compounding, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, Fortnite, probably the most popular game downloads wise in the world right now, and certainly a third-person shooter is not original, right? But there's certain things they did that they built upon that. You know, so I think if we don't lose sight of that, then it's easy to be creative in a sense.
Yeah, definitely need to work on that, because we hit a point like in our first year where we were just working so much because we were pretty much open to close like every single day. John,
it's brutal.
I give him even more respect and prop him because he was working his day job like 8 to 5, and then he was here till close afterwards. And
I remember those times,
bro. Like after a year of doing it, it was really affecting us, like just mental like blocks in a sense that it's very hard to get creative and
spitting myself
and you know get good names going and get good events going.
Putting passion behind them and enjoying the events. Like a year ago, we just had a huge Valorant event this weekend.
Yeah. Congrats on that.
Called
Fantastic.
Run It Back.
It was great. Yeah.
17 teams. They came and competed for $5,000.
Amazing, man.
A year ago, we would have been tearing the hair out of our heads, making everything run and operate and work. And we've been able to network and meet and grow relationships with such amazing people. Right? Like, and that's the best thing about, I think, running your own business. You get to meet people that are passionate about similar things as you, and they come from completely different places. But at the end of the day, you can trust them to get this thing done because they care just as much as you.
Yeah,
and
man.
you know, it's a shout out to Tyler, you know, Techni and his team, Ranchi, Kat, Liv, Justin, all of the guys and gals this weekend that, you know, put in the work. You know, they didn't complain about an 8 a.m. start.
Yeah.
They didn't complain about 3 days in a row starting at 8 a.m. and not getting out of here until maybe 2 in the morning for some of them, 6 in the morning on Friday, which was insane. Yeah. Cody barely made it here on Saturday, you know? Like, I was worried about him.
Yeah, big LAN weekends it's ridiculous the amount of hours that go into these 3-day events, and a lot of people don't really see the behind the scenes, but there's a handful of people that do, and they come and give us praise for everything that we've done, like for example this whole past weekend. But it was an incredible event, and I'm so happy like how far we've come in terms of this business. I know that there's a lot to improve on because we've only been open for a year and a couple months, and the level of talent that I've seen come in here from all over the world, like literally globally at this point, we've had some of the top players in their respective games and in different games come into this center. We've had the best Smash players in the world, like top 10 in the world.
Wow.
We've had the best Warzone players, literally the guys that just won the Esports World Cup and won $1 million. They were here for our LAN event that we did.
Great.
For Valorant, we had people here this past weekend that are top 10 in the leaderboard, that are professional players, professional coaches, making a living off this video game.
And for anybody who doesn't know, making a living in esports, sometimes people think, oh, it's like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. No, they get paid tens of thousands of dollars to play a game. It's just like professional sports, you know?
Amazing.
You look at those contracts now and you're like, that's ridiculous. I can't believe they're paying them 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. And at esports, it's still like pretty not that crazy yet.
Sure.
But I mean, when you hear somebody's making $15,000 for being a professional video game player, or esports player, or being correct, right? Because it's esports.
Sure.
Esports and gaming are completely different things.
Yeah,
Everyone
one's for
can
leisure.
game,
Once for sport.
and one's for sport. And so just how you go out to your organized basketball league, your organized soccer league, football league, it's in the same vein, right? You're learning leadership skills, you're learning communication, you're learning tactics, and you're learning how to apply your analysis of a situation to, you know, improve and get yourself better. We had a bunch of teams that, you know, they didn't do well. They wanted they're called VODs, video on demand, video.
Yeah.
It's the replay of what they just did.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to dissect it.
Yeah.
Right. They wanted to go back. They wanted to see where they fucked up, and they wanted to correct that mistake. And that's the level of passion that esports and the people that enjoy esports have. Like, they want to master their craft. They don't just want to be okay at it.
Yeah.
And it's that passion that really comes through when you host these big events.
Dude, and in esports in general, man, anything that's new, and it is new, right? I mean,
It's a baby.
You guys have it's been around. I mean, how long has competitive gaming been around?
You could argue Pong was the first competitive game.
even Pong, what is that, early 80s maybe, right? So 40 years in the big scheme of things is nothing, right? You know, so anything new is always going to be, you know, heresy, right? The only difference is you don't get, you know, strung up now for these kind of crazy things. So, I mean, there's been talk of esports maybe being in the Olympics at some point.
I think
it got approved.
Yeah,
which is fast, and I think that's going to go a long way.
Just no shooting games, apparently. Like, you can have shooting events with, but you can't have shooting games.
After the Turkish dude with the hand in the pocket.
That dude was the best. Honestly.
Badass, no glasses.
No glasses. Hand in pocket. Give me that.
Took a silver medal. I remember one of the Instagram comments was like, "You would have taken gold if they let him have his cigarette." You know? Probably.
Fantastic. 100%.
But gaming is an incredible thing, and esports is an incredible spin-off of that, or part of that, or how you want to say it. And I think going into the Olympics, you know, is going to be huge for it. And also, you know, was it Ninja who was on ESPN magazine, I think, or Wheaties box or something? Like, I mean, it's you know.
Yeah, they're reaching like celebrity status.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the biggest people, they're not in gaming, but they're in streaming, and streaming as a whole was looked down on for so long, and now the number one streamers in the world are pulling thousands of viewers. They literally have flash mobs happen because they exist in a place. They're like, I'm here, and thousands of people are like, oh, I want to go see you,
dude. And those thousands of people that are going, and just yesterday, my son and his essentially stepbrother were talking about who's your favorite streamer and that. My son's gonna be my age someday, or your age, long before that, and they're gonna be opening the next businesses, and then esports will just be yet another sport.
They're born into it these days.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of time. We as humans are so impatient, but that's incredible what you guys are doing here, man. It really is, and you should be very, very proud. And I was just thinking about this the other day. You know, we as humans never realize it's unfortunate, but we never realize the impact we are having in the world. You know, even if it's a smaller pond and we look at just Southwest Florida or just Miami, we're always so critical, so we never understand the impact we are having. But you guys are certainly continuing to have and already had such an impact. And the fact that it's only been a year and change is wild to me.
Yeah, it's been 6 years. Like,
oh yeah, just arduous
just
work.
busting our ass until we took 5 years just to get our first location, and then
Yeah.
a year here. And after the tournament, I was actually speaking with one of the players today. His flight was a little bit later, so he came by and he was breaking it down just how you're saying it now. That he was from like Dubai, and he's more from like the Middle East. And he was saying like the level of competition that we just hosted here is bigger than any event that they can do there, with the amount of teams that came, the quality of teams that came, and there's no one else like doing what we're doing at this scale. And I'm here telling him like, that's so crazy that you say that, because I don't even think we're like 40-50% of what we can do yet. Like, we still have so much more to go. I think we can double it. I think we can triple it. And from his perspective, like just two different perspectives, where it's like, no, what you guys are doing is really causing waves in the scene, like right now. Across. And it's like,
and we look at it and we're just like, for me, because Cody knows it, like he'll come in and he's like, John, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm working on a new project. I'm painting something new. I'm building something new. I bought a bunch of spray paint, and he's just confused. He's like, what are you doing with spray paint? And I built this thing. You know what I mean? And it looks freaking awesome.
yeah.
I just was like, I want to do something with this, you know? We look at this space, and we see an incomplete place. And a lot of people walk in here, and they're like, dude, I can't believe it. It looks awesome. Like, it's like, yeah, but we still need the sound system. We need the stage. We don't even have a kitchen yet. Are you kidding me? Like, how do we not have a kitchen yet? And looking at all these different things that we see as more work that needs to be done, that's getting piled on our plate, and people are just walking in already in awe of what's here, which is super humbling, and it's very exciting to see where we go in the future with the time, and pacing ourselves properly, like trying not to burn ourselves out too much, which
very
that
important.
was a big issue for us not too long ago. Thankfully now
it's gotten so much better now. Like, we picked up some part-time employees. Like, John is here. Like, he's not working his day job anymore.
Nice.
So we're able to like kind of take 2 days off a week and give that time to ourselves, and go get physical, go to the gym, play some tennis or pickleball, or John's been doing yoga.
Nice. I do yoga. It's great, man.
And man, those a stretch.
version.
Yeah, those a stretch for like months, where people would just look at us and be like, bro, you look awful right now.
Yeah,
like, you guys
'cause
look
you did. You probably
exhausted.
look terrible.
Yeah, you guys look exhausted, but we would still like come in, bust our ass every single day, like make sure that our biggest thing has always been like, when people come here, to kind of like make them feel at home and be very accommodating to each and every single person, making sure that their needs are met, and even if they don't know what they need, like, we kind of are able to dissect it and give them what they need.
And a lot of people come in here and they're like, what? I don't know what I want. I want to play a game. Like, how do I do that? And then they don't have any like literacy with PCs. You'd be surprised how many people they look at a PC and they're just stumped. They're like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, and then little by little, as they come here, they start developing those soft skills and stuff like that. And it's been good. It's been good.
That's amazing.
And I like what you said about the whole patience thing, because that's always been like the number one thing I said when opening this business, is like, I'm super patient. Like, I don't care how long this takes. Like, I'm all in.
That's great.
Like, I don't care how long it takes. And I remember when we just had our grand opening day. It's been like 5 years in the trenches. We finally grand opening day, and we're like, all right, we finally hit the starting line. Let's get it.
That's it, man. That's it.
We did all the
race
prep
about to
work
begin.
just to start the race.
Yeah.
That's all the training, all of the training arc. It's over. It's time to hit the put the pedal to the metal. Let's get going. Start
with the first mission.
Yeah.
Dude, the journey. That's something I'm still learning. Right? I'm always learning, but that's something I feel like I learned recently, which is that there is no light at the end of the tunnel, dude. You just have to find a tunnel you enjoy. That's
Have
it.
fun.
Because as you go down this journey of life, whether it's in the bar world or whether it's in the esports world, your opinions, your vision's going to change. That light at the end of the tunnel. Who wants to get to the end? Then what? What are you gonna do
then what?
then,
It's the
right?
journey, right?
It's the journey. Enjoying it. It's buying a whole shit ton of spray paint, dude. It's
Having
hosting
fun.
this tournament or that, right? You know, and just doing it the best you can, man. And having courage like you guys had to execute this at this level. You know, it's really, really incredible, man. Really incredible.
It's all about just constant improvement,
Yeah.
like little by little,
Absolutely.
even if it's 1% or half a percentage better.
100%.
A lot of the people that came to this past event, they've come to our previous events. We have some teams that have been coming since our first event, which we've done,
Nice.
you know, over a year ago, and we would do them every quarter, and they're flying here every single quarter, time and time again, and they
That's
see
wild. That's great.
every single time they come, it gets bigger, it gets better, and it's at the point where they compare it to a party, like, yo, I thought we were gonna miss this one, but how can I miss a bigger and better party? You know what I mean? Like, you guys keep outdoing yourself every time, and I can't just not go.
Yeah, no, man. You got, of course, that's fantastic. That's a great mentality. Yeah, dude. And speaking of, to continue on the outdoing yourself and the boxes and the spray paint, continuing to improve, continuing to make what you're doing better, and whether that's yourself or whether that's what you're doing every day, is such an important life, man.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is the purpose of purpose of someone, right? It's your purpose. It's my purpose. Is just got to keep making things better. Doesn't mean you can't shift in life, but wherever you go, and you have to consistently get better. You know, everything's perpetually degrading. You know, just like these computers. You know,
Yeah.
5 years from now, if these are the same computers, you're done.
Yeah.
right?
No way.
And if you're the same human being sitting on that couch 5 years from now, you're done there too.
Mhm.
Same thing goes with me, right? So continue to improve yourself and those around you, and that which is around you, computers included, I think is such an important aspect of business, man, of life. You know, so you got to watch your own VODs, right?
Yeah.
of life, you know. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So when's the next big tournament here?
Technically, we have another one coming up on Saturday. It's not a big tournament, but I mean, Ryan's around here somewhere, and he always likes to think it's a big tournament. He's our organizer, so we have
Nice.
a different group of organizers that put together events for us,
So,
and we do a bunch of events on a monthly basis. And so the one coming up this Saturday is called Rock Dojo, because it's
Okay.
all fighting games. So
Oh,
we do
sick.
Street Fighter, we do Tekken, we do Grand Blue, which is this anime fighter that kind of looks a little funky, but everyone loves it.
oh yeah, it's
um,
good gameplay.
And then Under Night, which is another one of those kind of
Yeah,
anime
it's the low
fighter
key.
types.
Yeah.
That one's for the low key people.
The low key, a lot of people love it, and it's crazy because a lot of the really good games, they tend to not be the AAA game that gets a bunch of traction or has a lot of marketing behind it, right? They tend to be these kind of lower budget studios that are putting out passion projects. They want to
Yeah.
focus on gameplay because they're tired of playing or paying $70+ for these games that they come out and they're not complete. Like you're selling me an incomplete product. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, just wait until the end of season 1. You know,
Yeah.
we'll fix it by then, and then by then it's not fixed. But they
Yeah.
got your money already, so it doesn't really matter to them.
Got him. Yeah, 'cause I don't hear too much about fighting games anymore, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't hear too much about any games unless it's from my son who likes shooters. But
Yeah, playing a ton of Fortnite.
yeah, I still play tons of Fortnite. Well, dude, I play Fortnite with him. I play Fortnite with my buddies now. I play tons of Fortnite. I
Fortnite
still
with
suck,
everyone.
but I have a greater than 1 kill death ratio.
That's
all
I'm
that
greater than
matters.
2,
Yeah.
I think, actually.
Hey,
But yeah, man. But shit, Tekken, Street Fighter. I mean, that's timeless, dude.
Yeah,
I remember playing
timeless.
Tekken. I played Tekken. What's that? No, that wasn't on the Genesis. When did that first come out? Was that PlayStation 1? No, what was Tekken?
they first came out on the fight sticks, if I'm not mistaken, on the arcade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It was arcade. Yeah, Tekken was arcade. That's right. I remember playing Street Fighter 2 and at Flippers, man. I don't even know if you guys Flippers.
Flippers?
Yeah,
No,
you
I've
guys,
never
when
heard
you guys
of it.
born?
I
Yeah, you
went to
guys,
Flippers.
you went to Flippers?
Yeah, but I went to one in Town and Country.
Yeah, Town and Country. Yeah. I
My
think that was
uncle
the
would
only
take
one.
me.
Yeah, dude.
I
Flippers
was,
wild.
I was like
man.
less than 10 years old. But
Yeah.
I remember Scorpico. And
Scorpico. I
yeah,
wasn't around for that one.
they were
another
South Miami. There was like a gaming lounge. Them and the one in Dolphin Mall. I forget the name. It was like a
Game Time or whatever. Is that
Something
still there,
like-
right? Yeah. I
I-
think.
that's a Sunset
that's the
Place.
Sunset.
Oh,
Place.
Sunset Place. Yeah, that's right.
That's the
Yeah.
arcade, kind of like the Dave and Buster's, but
Yeah.
like budget Dave and
Yeah.
Buster's. No, the one in I don't even remember the name, but I know that whenever I'd go to Dolphin Mall, there'd be a row of like Xboxes and TVs, and I just be like, Mom, I don't want to walk around with you.
Can I just play this?
I
Yeah,
just
brilliant.
play
That's a
video
brilliant
games,
model right
like-
there.
For real.
She's like, no, I need you to hold the bags. Like, that's why you're here. So
I feel like the airport
Yeah.
model would be great too. Like
Ooh,
you gotta wait a couple hours for your flight.
What the hell are you gonna do?
come,
Play some
come
video
play
games.
some video games, have a beer.
hang out.
Rock and ROK in the airport. What's going on?
ROK at the airport. That might be.
Yeah, I
a
wonder how
ride.
expensive that would be.
That'd be really-
Inordinately expensive. Tremendous pain. in the
Yeah.
ass.
Oh,
Totally
dude,
not worth it.
just getting, I mean, knowing the beer side of things and distributing to them and having them
yeah.
as an account, it's one of the most annoying accounts to deal with.
I'm sure.
You got to get there like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. You got to go to the warehouses outside. You're not even allowed into the airport. You got to do a whole authentication and badge process just to get through the door to do a cold call.
Jesus.
Or, you know what I mean? Like
Possible.
Too much work, a lot of red tape. But it's the
Oh.
airport, so
As
I think it'd be a
expected.
problem if it wasn't
I
a
know.
lot of red tape.
What advice would you have for people
got
that are starting a new business or trying to get into something like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess it's business dependent, but if it wasn't business dependent, the first piece of advice I'd say is make sure you're opening a business for the right reason. Are you running from something or to something? If you're running to something because you really want to open an esports center and it's your dream and you feel like it's a good business and you're good at it, or a bar, restaurant, whatever it may be, that's great. But if it's because you hate your job, which is why I opened Lincoln's Beard, although it worked out, thank God.
Yeah.
It's really not the right reason, right? You know, get happy before, because if you're pissed off and frustrated and anxious when you open a business, you're just going to be more pissed off, frustrated, and anxious. So make sure you open it for the right reason. We kind of hit on it all, you know, take care of yourself, have your own hobbies, try to avoid burnout as much as possible, although it's virtually impossible in first year in a business to avoid it. You know, yeah, keep your act sharp, you know, keep your brain sharp and get your rest, consume creativity, be creative, be genuine. You know, these are all important things. The same things that make you a good man or woman is the same thing that make you a good business owner. And choose your business partners wisely, you know, because I always say if business partners are tough, man, it really is like a marriage.
So I feel like it's exactly like a marriage, right?
It's exactly like a marriage, yeah. You know, and if you have a friend and they become your business partner, they are your business partner first.
And your friend second.
Yeah, your friend second, you know, so, which is fine, but it's just going to change, you know, the relationship. So, and just like a marriage, you know, there's going to be compromise, there's going to be friction, and you have to work on that. And it's one of the very few things that can sink a business when the business is high revenue and profitable. You know, a successful business can be sunk by a business partner relationship. So, you got to be really careful with who you choose, and you got to make sure that person can handle you, not just you handle them, you know, which involves you being honest with yourself and finding what your traumas were from childhood or whatever it may be. Get a damn therapist, you know, for real. So these are the things I would definitely say, you know, make sure your foundation is strong before you go into that business, and write a good business plan and find someone that's honest enough to tell you if it sucks. That's also critical, you know.
Very true.
There's so many, you know, we've all seen, you're driving down the road and you see this business, you know, now open, and you see what it is and you're like, oh, they're never going to last. Yeah, they're never going to last, especially in a city like Miami, man, where rents are high and people have short memories.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have to be good every day and better tomorrow to survive in this city. You just have to. I can't speak on other cities, but this is a really difficult city to run a business in.
With that being said, you're a craft beer guy.
Yeah.
I come from the craft beer industry.
Sure, man.
What's your thoughts on the recent closures that have been going on here in the biz? You know, Unbranded just recently announced they're closing their doors. I know we've had some other stuff that we're hearing in the wind.
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, I believe Beat Culture's closed. I believe Unbranded
closed
closed.
as well.
Union, you know, which
Union.
was at the heart of the craft, you know, some would say the heart of craft beer scene down here as a beer bar.
And craft
before
beer
it
in Little
closed.
Havana. There's not a lot of craft beer in Little Havana, to be
absolutely.
honest with you.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and first thing I'll say is craft beer struggling, man. You know, we all knew Miami was not a beer city when we got into this business. We all did the best we could and continue to do the best we can to kind of fight that stigma. But it continues, it persists, and Miami is not a beer city. It is a liquor city. So I think, I mean, one, I hate to see those folks go. Obviously, I have all friends of mine. And of course, what's happened in Wynwood is unfortunate. You know, thank God Luis and fam got a payday on the way out with AB InBev, which is fantastic.
Now they're over at the tank, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. Now Luis is at the tank. Yeah, I spoke to him recently, which is incredible. Obviously, Tank's incredible too. Big shout out to them. But the fact that there's Wakefield's the only independent brewery left in Wynwood.
The heart of craft beer
exactly.
at the time here in Miami back in 2011, 2012. That's kind of what started the entire revolution for down here. Nobody knew about craft beer down here other than Guinness.
Exactly.
That's not really a craft beer.
Yeah, exactly. Although it's damn good.
Damn good beer.
Yeah, I
damn
mean,
good.
someone asked me the other day, why are all these places closing? And I'm like, well, we're in a recession, right? Period. Everything I read in the news is, looks like there might be a recession. It's like, bro, we've been in a recession, man. We're in a recession. Everything is incredibly higher, from beer grain, from the grain we use to brew our beer, to depending on what hops you get, but your rent's higher, especially for those of us that signed leases 10 years ago. I mean,
it's about time for renewal.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is higher. Everything is higher. Labor is higher.
Not getting any cheaper either.
Exactly. And okay, well, man, I'm not selling enough of my tap room. Let me distribute. State of Florida doesn't allow self-distribution. Even if you are in a contract, it's franchise law. You cannot break that contract. It's the laws in Florida are archaic, and the fact I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent here, but if DeSantis is out there listening, bro, call me, dude. Let's talk about this. But no, I think that's hard. There's just no way out, and really it comes down to one thing only. There's only so much you could charge for a beer. You can't, whenever folks talk to me about that, I say, all right, how much would you pay for a pint of lager or a blonde ale? Oh, nowadays maybe $7, maybe $8, whatever you're in Wynwood. All right, now what if you got a vodka soda at the ale house right there, and you looked at the tab and it was $10? Would you balk at it? No, you wouldn't. That's the problem. That is, and by the way, that beer is going to fill you up a lot more than that vodka soda. So it's just so hard to. We're getting to a boiling point in beer right now, where we've been there, to be honest.
It's a rate of sale issue.
Yeah, a $10 drink would be cheap.
Yeah,
right now.
Right, exactly. I haven't opened a brewery in 8 years, and the reason I haven't done that is because I knew that I was gonna have to supplement that with other revenue. Strange Beast became a pizzeria, serves our beer, thank God. Maxwell, same thing, pizzeria. Thorn is a cocktail bar, and we're going to be putting liquor in Lincoln's.
Nice. Congratulations.
Certainly for the next handful of months. Yeah, thank you. Well, congratulate me when it's
over. I know it's permitting in Florida and Miami is a problem.
It's a nightmare, but you kind of have to. I mean, we got to get to a point in revenue where you can keep it open. Take me life, but not me Lincoln's. Obviously. Yeah. So Lincoln's is still amazing, but we just have to generate that revenue. And liquor will help with that, combine that with our amazing beer. So craft beer is, I guess the Wallet Union called it long ago as a peacock walks in front of the building. I don't know if that's a bad omen. I hope not. But craft beer is dead. It's not. But in this city, it's on a little bit on life support.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that Miami's so behind on trends.
Really?
I feel like it's a really transient city.
It is.
So folks, somebody you saw 2 years ago, they're not going to stick around. They're on their way out. Mm-hmm. They won't be here for very long. So you got a customer for those years.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's been some of our best customers actually in the last year that we've noticed.
They'll pop in, pop out. Yeah.
They'll be here almost every day, and they just move.
Yeah.
And literally, our best of the best customers, like 90% of them that have been the best regulars, or they're moving to Orlando, they're moving everywhere else.
They're getting out of the city. It's too expensive for them.
It's too expensive.
Out of the
yeah, it is. It's brutal. Really, really brutal here. But thankfully, we still have some great breweries left. Lincoln's, of course, Tripping Animals, which we're drinking right now, which
amazing
is incredible. And obviously Tank, a handful of other unseen creatures. A lot of other good liquid out there, Prison Pals, all these folks. But definitely tough, man. And I was talking to folks. I was at the Florida Brewers Conference last week, and they're struggling up in New York too. They're struggling in Tampa too. It's we're in a little recession here, man. We're in a little recession. People just don't have that much money, man. Inflation got high as hell.
You also have a lot more health conscious folks.
True.
You got the health trends going on. A lot of non-alcoholic. The non-alcoholic segment's been growing a lot lately.
Very much.
A lot of seltzer that definitely cut into the beer, right? Nobody wants to be bloated after having a drink or going out on a beach day. That used to be Natty Lights, Bud Lights, Michelobs. Now it's Truly's, White Claws, and who knows what else.
Yeah, 100%.
Surfside, yeah. Great little drink if you haven't had it.
Surfside?
Yeah, Surfside.
Lemonade, vodka.
Really?
4.5%.
Is it in a can?
Yeah, in a can.
Sounds wonderful.
It's amazing.
Is it made in Surfside, Florida?
I wish. It's super unlikely. It's made with. I think it's actually a California brand.
What do you think have been like your biggest struggles in the businesses that you've opened?
I mean, certainly my struggle is the most difficult part of the business, if I can answer it that way. is the most amazing part of the business. It's staff. It's
Yeah.
humans. I've always been fascinated by the human being, by the complexity of the human brain. And that's what makes them amazing. The best part of running a business is being, I always say, the leader of men, but it's also toughest. Yeah, for sure. That's certainly been the struggle. That and just government,
Yeah.
because, I'm a aspiring anarchist,
Yeah.
and, having the county and the city and
Yeah, that was a nightmare for us when we were opening up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it took us like a year and a half to open. We
Yeah.
thought we were going to open in like 4 months.
I think the fire
Brutal.
department held us up for 8 of those months.
it's good. I'm sure it was for valid reasons, too.
Occupancy. They were like, yeah, it's too many people. You're gonna need a fire system. And we're like, okay, we'll just make some adjustments and fix it. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to take this long.
Yeah.
No, it's like, yeah, there's so much red tape that we just had to go
brutal,
through,
bro.
and no one understood what we were trying to do. And
It's brutal.
Explaining it to people.
we
is
had to
hard.
go through, you've been in Palmetto Bay, but we had to go through here and Miami-Dade. So now we're
I
going through
know.
2
I know,
different
it's
ones. And it's
terrible.
like,
It's terrible. Can't we just
Oh,
do
man.
things slightly dangerous? It's just a little dangerous.
little bit,
Why
yeah.
people sign a waiver when they come in? Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
what, we,
I'm
bro, we
just kidding.
demolished
We
everything,
demoed
in
everything
here.
in here.
No permit. We didn't get a notice about it till like 7 months later when
Yep.
we haven't opened yet.
we hadn't opened. We signed our lease like end of November. We told the landlord like, hey, nobody's gonna do any work in December. Like it's a given.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll start in
Yeah.
January.
we'll start
1st.
the lease in January. January 2nd, after New Year's Day, we were in here just knocking out walls.
Yeah.
We found out after we cleared the entire place, our GC walks in. He's like, yeah, you need a permit for this. And we're like,
Like, schmermit.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. It was like this when we got it, bro.
I know. They made you get an asbestos inspection, didn't they?
Yes, they
did.
did.
Yeah, of
They
course.
did.
When was this building built? Probably way after asbestos was.
Was it ever going to
yeah,
be used in
exactly.
construction?
Thank you. $500, $800.
Yeah,
whatever.
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting one right now. The county's requiring me to get one for a cold room I bought in 2018 that I'm tearing down.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
impressive.
Definitely some asbestos
Yeah.
in that. It's like, bro,
Bro.
Any way they can get some money out of
terrible.
Falco actually helped me a lot when I was like trying to get beer in here. I was reaching
Oh,
out to
God,
you a lot.
yes,
You actually
dude,
sent
we're
me,
trying,
dude.
yeah.
I was going left and right, like busting my head, like
Yeah, that's it.
trying to figure out how to
Said
get
he was
this
giving you
approval,
the
bro.
pain in the ass,
The
huh?
best part about it all was that once the person in charge of the department left, the new person was like, "Oh yeah, that was a mistake. You guys should have been able to do it from the beginning."
Yeah.
It's like, are you shitting me?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Our
yeah.
our name, like the name
Wild.
for the sign out front on the marquee, we went with the name that we have because we didn't have like beer and wine, and so we didn't want people thinking that we were a bar when we didn't have beer and wine. We could have gone with like lounge.
Yeah, the
We
first
could've gone
4
with some-
months we
any
were
other
open, we
name.
didn't have it. The zoning lady was giving us such a hard
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. They
And-
cleared that whole place out, didn't they?
Seems
Yeah, the
like
new
it.
city manager came in like,
Everything.
yeah.
Everything. It took our grand opening and connection.
Mayor
and
Cunningham coming in,
Yeah,
grand
Rick Cunningham's
opening,
great,
and
yeah.
he was like, "Oh, this looks like a bar," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's what we built it out to be." I got approval when I came in for the zoning verification from Craig Southern, and then he left. We got put on with the other zoning lady, Maria, and she was like, "Yeah, everything that he approves like invalid until you can
That's
give us
wild to me.
proof of these clauses or whatever." And it was essentially that, like, yeah, it was the whole distance thing. Like, if you're within 250 feet of another establishment that serves on or off premise, then you cannot do it. And
there's two
And
then-
7-Elevens on the corner here.
yeah, Mayor Cunningham, like, she looked over at the 7-Eleven. She's like, "I don't really like that 7-Eleven anyways.
Yeah.
Rules are made to be changed. I'll see what I can
Thank
do."
you, Mayor. Thanks
Yeah, I bumped her a couple times afterwards,
Yeah.
and she went to go speak to the director of zoning,
Sure.
who was Heidi.
Yeah.
And
That is great.
pretty much the woman that was there under Heidi had essentially convinced her, "Hey, they can't do it because of XYZ," and she's like, "Okay, I agree with you, blah blah blah." And when the mayor made her like really look into it, Heidi emailed us like, "Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I was
Yeah.
getting fed wrongful information from an employee
Yeah.
of ours, and since the location that's actually next to you, they were exempt from that clause, then so are you guys."
Oh, wonderful.
And we're like, Thank the
Wonderful.
Lord.
God,
Thank the Lord.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you get a zoning verification letter that says you can do it?
Yeah.
And then they say just
Have
get
it signed
That
and
is
everything.
unreal
We
to me.
we
dude.
did all of our homework was done.
Yeah, we got all
Unreal.
that approved
The
before
whole
signing
point of
the
a zoning
lease.
verification letter is to
Yeah.
do that so you don't waste time and money.
Exactly.
Unreal,
Bro.
dude.
We've been able to do some pretty cool events for the mayor, honestly, and
Great.
as
good.
a huge thank you, you know, like
Good,
we've been
yeah.
able to
That's
connect
what
her
it's about, man.
we connected her with Raheem Mostert. They actually did an event here in May, and it was super cool. One of the most humble athletes,
Most are incredible
people that you
athlete,
can
dude.
ever meet.
Jeez.
That was a
Like,
dope event.
He brought his entire family. We met his wife. We met his kids. We met his mother-in-law. They were hanging out. They came back the next day because they had a good time. Like
Oh,
they
fun.
came to check it out. He even told us like the day right before leaving, he's like, I'm getting ready to go into preseason and camps and stuff, but I'd love to hear more about your guys' story.
Oh, sick.
He has a huge interest in esports.
Oh, nice.
He has a lot of buddies that he plays games with. He even goes around and takes his own setup with him on the road to
Yeah.
the
Wow,
games.
of course he does.
Yeah, he's starting his own gaming organization.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah. So that was like the
That's
whole
dope.
reason for the event, to kind of build like a launch for it.
Oh,
for
that's
his
great,
organization to
man.
go out.
He put up $2,000 for a Super Smash Bros. Tournament for only high school and middle school kids.
Dude, that's
so
amazing.
one of the
For
kid,
him,
the
man.
kid that won the tournament
One
comes
of our
to
regulars, yeah.
comes to our venue every week. Every Friday he's here playing games,
That's great.
grinding. He's Luke Cheeto. He's what,
Meta
16
Knight.
years old,
Yeah.
17 years old, and the kid that got second drove down from, was it Jacksonville or was it Tampa? It was Selects, wasn't it?
No, it was Zap.
Oh, Zap. It was
yeah.
Zap.
Yeah, he drove distance. to come here
His dad drove him down, and I think he took home $500
for second. Yeah.
for second place.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
I actually have one of the things you told me like when we were just opening, which I still think about to this day, because a lot of our success comes from people coming all over the world to come here for events, and people driving very long distances, but we haven't been able to really get that within 5-mile range. And
Yeah.
that was one of the first things you told me, like, yo, cater to that 5-mile range,
Yeah.
like get them invested, get them coming. And
So you
I
still
wanted to
struggle
know
with
if
that?
I wanted
Yeah.
to know if you had any advice on
shit.
that, because I think that's our biggest struggle, is that we get people to drive 4 hours on a Wednesday to come over here,
For not the folks around here.
but we're not getting the
We can't
people
get
that
them.
live 2 minutes away. Like they meant need even know what we are, what we
Yeah.
do. Like you
Yeah.
can see the sign, but you don't really know what it is until you get in here and you really experience it.
Yeah.
We really saw that at SuperCon. We were just there, what was it, 3 weeks ago? We set up a table, super last minute. We're handing out flyers, and I swear, every other person was like, "Yeah, I know about you guys. I drive past you all the time." We're like, "So where are you? Like, why aren't you
Yeah.
coming in? Knock on the door. We're open. Like, come say hi." And a lot of times it's like, "Oh, I didn't have time. Oh, I didn't know
Sure.
what you guys were. Oh, this." There's always some sort of excuse. And
Yeah.
so it was a cool event because we were able to literally be in front of people and be like, "Hey, we're like a real thing. We're
Yeah.
people. We
Yeah.
exist. We're here. Come say hi."
Yeah, that's. I mean, as far as advice, I mean, outside, first thing I would say is social media marketing that you can distance constrain around this area, and just yeah, obviously Instagram will probably get maxed. They'll say you're not going to reach enough people, but you can probably figure it out. But I'm gonna use that. I talked to a buddy of mine, Philip, who's a big marketer.
Yeah,
and
Philip's our boy.
Okay, yeah, you know Philip.
beyond
yeah.
the agency.
Yeah, pain in the ass Philip. I love him.
We got a funny
Yeah.
story of
Yeah.
Philip.
Oh, everyone's got a funny Philip story. So I told him, I was like, hey, brain exercise. He's a good buddy of mine, Philip. I'm like, how do I tell people within 5 miles from Lincoln's that we have liquor now? What's the most efficient and effective way to tell people within 5 miles of Lincoln's that we have liquor, right? And he, of course, told me to give liquor away, right? Which was a really valid point in the end. But the point I'm trying to make here is he said you have to give them a reason to come in. Because if they go out to a liquor bar, they already have a liquor bar they go to. So why should they come drink with you? If they're gamers, they already have a place they game. So why should they come game here? You have to get them off their couch, off their gaming chair, or whatever, out of their boy's crib, and get them over here to game one time. If then it takes over, because then they go, "Damn, this was incredible," just like those other guys say. So what is that outlandish, crazy thing? You don't have to answer it now, but that you can do to get them in here. You know what I'm saying? That's I think the thought process that needs to happen. And it has to be something you're not doing now.
Yeah.
I'll talk on the liquor aspect, and he's like, dude, take $5,000 and give away $5,000 on bar tabs. And I'm like,
I feel like that's always the first move. Just give stuff away for free.
Yeah, just give us stuff away for
Yeah.
free. And I was like, shut up. He's saying, no, seriously. Then I was like, hold on. What about if I ran, and let's say I utilize local influencers too. What about if I ran for, let's say I gave away 50 $100 bar tabs. So for 50 days, every single day, I give a $100 bar tab giveaway on a different post on Lincoln's Beard. Like, you will get incredible reach. Let's say I take 20 of those bar tabs and I give them to local influencers. Say, go and give away $100 bar tabs. They're going to get great reach. I'm going to get great reach. I'm going to get great feedback. So in the end, it was kind of a valid, and we'll probably do something like that in the end. But it was really, really valid feedback, and not necessarily giving away stuff for free is not necessarily what you have to do, but it's doing stuff that's bold and aggressive. Same thing that put you guys on this couch right here. Doing bold, aggressive shit, different things, thinking outside the box is, I think, the way to have that shift. Yeah. That's what I'd say. Work with people. Another thing I like to do is work with people you don't usually work with. Work with people who are not gamers. Cross that algorithm, If you feel like you're kind of in this algorithm, or folks' algorithms are all set. I see the ROK stuff, but maybe I don't see this. How do I see that? You got to cross, into that realm. Find people that have big followings and get them in here to play some damn games.
Yeah, you've done a really good job at tracking a lot of local artists or a lot of local musicians or local influencers. How do you go about even starting that network? Once you have it, it's easier, but how do you do it from when you don't even know?
Just do dope ass shit together. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right?
That's been our motto.
This whole year.
This whole year, it's like, let's just
shit.
do dope
Just
shit.
always do dope shit, man. That's it. Always do. The second you're like, I don't want to do dope shit because it's not worth it, dude, you're lame. You're done. Especially in the city, you're done. So knowing what I know about gaming or in esports is nothing. But if I was you guys with my current knowledge, which is terrible, and I'd probably run this business to the ground, I would hit up some local folks that are just popular folks that maybe don't even game and figure out some tournament. Dude, you could do an influencer tournament here, right?
It's not a bad idea.
Do an just people that don't game and just get them here kicking each other's ass at a fighting game, whatever the fuck it is, right? You can get Red Bull to sponsor, get Liquid Death to sponsor, get couple of these other businesses sponsor it. Do some crazy shit here. They're all going to be posting, and then someone that follows, I don't know, Martha of Miami, right? Someone that follows Martha of Miami is going to go, what is this? Where is she? Oh shit, my nephew games, or I game. I've never heard of that place. And then tell their nephew. I mean, it's exactly. It's the speed of information, Because and that's the challenge, man. I was literally on my way here, and I was like, man, I haven't listened to hip hop in a while, right? So I just put J. Cole in my Spotify. And I'm like, damn, he's had a new album out. How did I not hear about this? Here's J. Cole, super popular hip hop dude. I got tons of J. Cole on my playlist, and I just didn't see it pop up because there's just so much fucking noise, bro.
Yeah.
There's so much noise, and the only way to cut through it is to put it in someone's face, man. So whatever noise they're used to hearing, you got to get into their algorithm.
Interrupt it, right?
You got to interrupt it, man. That's something that Jeff from Apocalypse Barbecue and I talk about all the time. And these down times like this, it's time to ramp up the dopeness of the shit.
Yeah, he's been crushing.
Jeff's been doing a lot of really cool stuff.
Jeff's incredible. Jeff has an incredible amount of energy, and I love to watch him. He's I'm lucky enough to call him a really, really good friend. I love doing stuff with Jeff. Haven't done anything in a little bit with Jeff because we're working on other things, but with him. But yeah, man. But he's very good at that. It's just doing random things. Just do random things, man, that are just cool,
Yep.
When you're up at 5 a.m. smoking pork bud.
Dude, tell me about it. Dude, he runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week on those smokers. Not him. He has a great team over there, of course. But it's amazing, man. Oof.
Incredible. And the barbecue is...
Oh, no. It's next level.
insane.
It's next level. Really is. It's at or better than anything I had in Texas when I lived there.
That's incredible.
Incredible, man. Incredible stuff. There's a perfect guy. Why don't you get all the restaurateurs to come do a gaming competition?
That would be one. That'd be something.
Let's go. Every restaurant brings, whatever game you want to do, brings a duo or whatever.
This has shades of your PB&J eating
We're gonna get all the
contest.
breweries playing Fortnite.
Let's talk offline. Fortnite. Let's play Fortnite.
We're gonna get Falco clapping
Yeah,
up
let's
everyone on
go.
Fortnite,
He's
bro.
gonna be the best.
I'll bring my son, the ring.
Yeah, you gotta
The
come with your
ringer.
kid and play.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
duo.
Oh my god.
Dude, that'd be
huge.
fun. can,
That
dude.
would be fun.
Parent-child
Parent-child
competition. That'd
Why
be-
not?
Actually, just a parent-child competition in general would be dope.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened here anywhere?
Technically, yeah. So there was a company that came and worked with us, Kuso. They flew in a bunch of middle school and high school team to come in and do like an educational gaming day.
Yeah.
And one of the events was the parents playing against
Legends.
each other for League of Legends, and the kids were the coaches.
That's frustrating. Shut up! I'm playing.
It was so dope. It was like it
Dude.
was by far the best event of the day.
Dude, I do that every now and then because I'm always on my kid's ass. You know, my like military experience. I'm always like, you need cover, concealment. And then I'm like, what am I doing? He's 9,
Yeah.
and he's way better than me.
Get the high ground. Get the
Yeah,
high ground.
I literally have said those exact words, right? But sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll do whatever you want me to do. He of course makes me die. He's like, no, like I'll have like 1 health and I'm running away in a car, and he's like, go back and fight. I'm like, bro. He's like, you suck. I'm like, ah. Or like whenever we're playing duos in Fortnite and he gets knocked and he's down, he's like, well, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, can you at least have some confidence? Maybe I could. Maybe
I can
could
probably
rally,
boot
bro.
you or
yeah, I
something.
can do this. I never do. I know.
Oh,
I always suck. He reboots me way more than I reboot him. But there's some dope ass things. Just these random things. You know, it's
I like that one.
you know,
I do too.
word of mouth marketing has to be worked. A lot of people take it for granted. Word of mouth marketing is by far the best marketing, of course, because you trust the source. But people need something to talk about. You got to give them talk triggers. Give them something that's going to trigger them to talk to their friend. You know, and it's rarely, dude. Have you been to ROK over there, man? Yeah, they have great systems. All that stuff's true. Usually it's something dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, have you been to ROK over there, man? Yeah, they're doing this like parent-child thing. It's hilarious. You can even do a mother-son competition. How fun would that be, man?
Oh, those videos go crazy when you see
Yeah.
the mom tackling the kid. I don't know if you've seen that stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
They're the best. They're
Some
the
of them wreck them, dude.
Yeah,
Some of them
destroy.
wreck them. But yeah, a little mother-child competition would be fun, man. Someone would probably love to bring his mom in here and get her ass kicked. That'd be hilarious.
Well, thank you so much, Falco.
Dude, of
bro,
course, man.
that's
It's good to
for
be here,
everything.
gentlemen. Cheers.
Oof.